Yeah, man.
Or a young man that worked in a big city chasing
Okay,
dreams. Tell me
we are
about
finally doing this. We're doing this. The creative rut. What on earth happens when you, as a photographer, cinematographer, artist, painter, go through a creative rut and you don't feel like picking up your tool and creating or documenting? That's today's topic, and that's exactly what happened to me for the past 2 months now. I honestly, giving you a back end story, I am the type of person that carries his camera with him at all times. I'm often shooting, editing, all that stuff. I always have my tool with me. I'm known. If Hassam's gonna be there, he's gonna bring his gear, regardless of the environment, regardless of the situation. So that's the back end story. It came to a point where I didn't want to pick up my tool, this camera that I'm filming on, and I didn't want to shoot anything or edit anything. So what is this creative rut have to do with you, or why is my story relevant? Taking myself out of the equation, while I was going through the sweat, I realized that, hey, I am not the first or last that's probably going through this creative rut, and chances are, if you are a creative, you're gonna have similar times where you don't feel like picking up your tool, you don't feel like creating, documenting. It's just you get tired, you get overburdened. Do you know what I mean? You get worn out. So the purpose of this video is not to just rant about my creative struggles, but more or less is I'm sharing with you guys the stuff that I incorporated in my day-to-day of changing my habits and structures that help me get out of that creative rut, and hopefully these tools will or these steps will work for you as much as they're working for me right now, if that makes sense. It's fair enough to say that one of these things didn't merely work for myself. It was a sequence or different steps that I had to incorporate that worked hand in hand, that helped me get out of this rut. The first one being this right here. I went out, I bought a journal, and for the past month straight I've been journaling non-stop. I've been journaling, and it's been helping me get out of that creative rut. The reason why it's been helping me get out of that creative rut is because I can list down my emotions and what I'm going through on a piece of paper without anybody judging me, if that sounds whatever it sounds like. So try that if you're in a creative rut. Try journaling about your feelings, your emotions, and what you're going through, and sit in your emotions. Really sit in your emotions, address them, process them, and get out of them. And to be honest with you, I've been doing it for about a month straight. I haven't missed a single day, and it's been working wonders for me. Julie Cameron, The Artist Way, she authored a book called The Artist Way, where it's just the first thing you do in the morning is write out every single thought that crosses your mind as you go along. I think she mentioned to do this for 3 or 5 pages, whatever. I incorporated the 3 pages, and they've been working wonders for me. So much so that now moving forward, I don't see myself putting journals away, if that makes sense. I can't function without a journal, to be honest with you. It helps me, it gives me a lot of clarity, and it eliminates the reason, the rut, and reminds myself of why I got into what I got to, photography and cinematography in general. Does that make sense? So the first one, journaling. The second thing that helped me get out of my creative rut is this. I had to revisit my why reason, my why purpose. Why did I start this channel? Why did I hop on Instagram? Why am I in this creative field? Why do I want to share stories? What's the purpose? What's the message? So I had to revisit those things to help me get out of a creative rut. So I would suggest for you, if you're facing similar challenges, revisit why you're doing this. The tool, the why, what's in it for you? Why are you doing it? That will help you get into why you're doing it. The third thing that helped me get out of a creative rut, believe it or not, is actually putting my tool away. I had to step away from my camera. I had to put all the stuff down, all my editing softwares. I just said enough's enough, and I'm putting it away for some time. And when I did that, I noticed many things. One, I started living in the moment. Two, I started missing my creative endeavors, cameras, photography, editing. Three, it just made me want to start creating more and start thinking about this YouTube channel in a different way of how can I add more value. So the third thing I would advise, if you're in a creative rut, put your tool away for some time, do something else in the meantime, and revisit your why reason, and hopefully by the time you're ready, you will be ready to create more art, if that makes sense. Or it can give you more clarity of what you want to do, if that makes sense. The fourth thing, speaking of tools, I had to pick up new tools to see if my creative juices are gonna start flowing with that. That's when I went out and I got this iPad. I'll do a review on it sometime soon. So I got an iPad for the sake of trying different tools and see if it's gonna spark my creative endeavors. And so far, to be honest with you, it really has opened up many doors and it blew my mind away. Now, in a sense, like I can edit on the go. Do you know what I mean? I have different apps, different softwares, different things. So that kind of helped me. So if you're in a creative rut, try using different tools. Try experimenting with many different things. I know for me, getting the iPad, I would face a lot of resistance, but until I got it, I was like, oh my God, I can edit on the go. Mind you, I don't have a laptop. I can edit on the go. I can upload this, I can upload that. And I got the pen, so I have more minor tweaks. So it definitely sparked more juices. So give it a try. Maybe start using a different camera, different paintbrush, different piano. I don't know. I don't know what you feel this, but do give it a try of trying new tools. 0.5, 0.6, 0.4, I'm not sure. But one thing I did that helped me get out of creative rut is reading more. And with reading, I picked up a book called, this book right here, Atomic Habits. And it was recommended to me by a dear friend. And I am just taking my sweet time going through it. Part of the reason that it helped me get out of a creative rut, it introduced me to structuring my day-to-day. Do you know what I mean? Structuring my creativity, structuring my art. The author was saying is like, if you can get 1% better every day, you're on the right track. So definitely picking up books to read, this was one of them, definitely helped me get out of that creative rut. But in addition to reading book, it was specifically this book that added more structure to my day-to-day. So now I'm thinking, when I'm creating my YouTube videos, Instagram photos, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that, I have structures and habits. So reading could definitely help you get out of a creative rut. That's for sure. The next step that helped me get out of my rut was spending a lot of time in nature. I was spending a lot of time in the beach, in woods. I went camping. I did a whole bunch of stuff without my camera, obviously. And it helped me get into my element of why I'm doing this. So spending time in nature definitely will help you get out of a creative rut. Give it a try. Oh man, this point is embarrassing by far. Oh my God, I can't even talk about it. To see how far I've come, I honestly had to visit a bunch of old material and see how far I've come, and to see my beginnings, humble beginnings, I should say. And it was quite interesting. It was just like, cringeworthy, but it definitely helped. So maybe visiting your old work would definitely help you get out of a creative rut, to see how far you've come, how many hours, money, sacrifices you put into your craft, and now to give up, you're just like, I don't have a choice but to keep on going. Does that make sense? One thing that also helped me get out of my creative rut is spending a lot of times with some close friends. And I broke this down into two types. One, some creative friends, and one, friends that have like zero creativity, as they would say in their words. I noticed that I got different perspectives from both parties. And having those honest conversations, vulnerability, mixed feelings, anxiety, it definitely helped. And I'm fortunate enough that I have such friends in my life. So another tip for you to get out of your creative rut is talk to somebody you trust. Address your concerns with them. They'll definitely give you a different perspective than what you thought. Do you know what I mean? Reach out to some people. And you find them oftentimes, they're willing to hear more than you think. They're less judgmental than you think. You know what's funny, what's interesting? As a creative person, this is what I'm starting to notice now about myself, is I spend a lot of time in my head without getting out of it. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, this right here limits me. It cripples me from doing. I'm an overthinker. I don't know how to overcome it. But if you have any tips, do leave them in the comment section below. Damn. Another thing that helped me get out of my creative rut was playing basketball, honestly. This was a long hobby I used to do every single day when I was a kid until I got injured, and then I wasn't doing it. And I noticed that as soon as I started playing basketball, just shooting by myself, nothing competitive, it really sparked up my juices. It really got me focused on something. It was interesting now because I was focused on scoring a basket than I was with getting a shot. Same focus, but a completely different areas. Do you know what I mean? And it made me really want to focus and start shooting videos all over again. So my advice to you, if you're in a creative rut, try some fitness, walks, jogs, lifting weights, yoga, sports, basketball. That will definitely get your juices pumping to create more of what you create. Does that make sense? What also helped me get out of my rut was, believe it or not, listening to a lot of music. I had to go back and listen to some of my favorite tracks and some of my favorite artists. I'm talking maybe Kanye with the College Trilogy and using the samples and the messages in his music. That definitely stimulated a different part of my mind. Other one was Jay Dilla's Donuts. That had me emotionally just in a different space, to be honest with you. So my advice to you is start listening or start consuming different forms of art or content or something of that nature, in hopes that it will open up your creative juices all over again. For me, it was music. For you, it could be something else. But I advise you to start consuming something else, something that you lost touch with, but you can always visit to open, to get your mind stimulated again. Does that make sense? Another thing that helped me get out of my creative rut is this. I had to remind myself on a regular basis that I am as nice as I really am. I am a dope photographer. I am that person. But sometimes you just lose sight of all of that and you focus on the, I'm not good enough. What if my work's not good enough? What if people... Listen, if you're in a creative rut, remind yourself of the hours, the effort, the money, the years, the dedication you put into your craft, and remind yourself of how nice you are, because nobody else is doing that. So remind yourself, and that will help you get out of a rut. Trust me, it helped me. Another thing that helped me get out of a creative rut, believe it or not, is a tiny bit of traveling. I know we're in COVID times and all that. I'm not talking internationally. I'm talking about me getting out of my element. And I'm sure you could do this. If you live in a small city, a small town, I'm sure there's a park or something that you have yet to visit. For sure, spend some time there. What I did and that worked for me, I went to a lot of neighboring towns, some neighboring cities, just for a quick day trip, and I'll come back. And what I did and what that did for me was it sparked my interest. I started learning different things while I was there. It opened my mind up. I started learning, growing, talking to random people, and it was just beautiful. You know what I mean? We get stuck in our day-to-day lives that we forget. Another thing that I did, I went back to my home city and I visited my child homes and places I lived with when I was in college. And when I was there, just looking from the outside of those houses or buildings, I realized, wow, I used to spend a lot of times in this apartment doing XYZ. I did so much work in this house right here. So that really sparked my juices and my creativity, and it made me look back and reflect like, damn, I done come a long way. So my advice to you, hopefully I'm not rambling, but my advice to you is travel a little bit more. Go to different parts in your city. Spend a lot of time in nature. So that's that. Now when you thought I was talking about journaling and you thought I was a joke, watch this. This is the journal I journal in, the morning pages. This is for my YouTube videos. This right here is for my poems and spoken word. I read a lot of my stuff in here. And this right here is for my day-to-day ideas and things I gotta do. More like a to-do list. So when you think about it, you thought I was playing around? No, man, I'm not. And it really helped me because now I can remember how I said I was living in my head and it cripples me. This gave me a lot of direction, a lot of sense of what I need to do, and you know what I mean? And then letting my creativity spill and go everywhere. This book helped me get out of my head and find more structure in my day-to-day life and focus on how can I get 1% better each day. And this iPad right here made things a lot easier for me because now I can edit from my bed. And I can do a lot of different things with this. And I started using different apps, drawing apps, music apps, stuff that had nothing to do with cinematography and photography that also sparked my creativity to start making these videos. That being said, this is the conclusion of this video. I don't know why it took forever to make this, but I hope you understand that I was in a creative rut, and throughout journaling and this book and my iPad, I don't think that I should be in a creative rut anytime soon. The purpose of this video is to educate you or share some tips of how you can get out of a creative rut, and also how to prolong the time between every creative rut. Does that make sense? Am I making sense, or am I just talking? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your patience. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any other tips for other creators, artists, anybody there around the world, please leave them in the comment section below for us all to learn and grow and learn and grow and repeat and get in a creative rut and learn and grow and get out of it. That being said, take care. Peace. Hold on. I know I just signed this video off, but as soon as I hit the stop record button on the camera, I just realized how nice it is to be back and create more videos. You understand how excited I am. Anywho, subscribe. More videos coming for sure. Feels good to be back. Peace.
Check it.
The story of a guy who really been through a lot of nonsense to do what he do. Took a lot of L's and made it through. Believed in himself, that's all he knew. Defied all odds when chips were against him. Hustle all the time, what's there to prevent him? Money was an issue that really stressed him. Couldn't keep a job, they really dismissed him. Had a clear cut path, what he wanted in life. Make a lot of movies and share his story. A lot of processes, skipped on the parties. Headed to the top, climbing the Rockies, yeah.